Gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
What is the deal, Raider Nation? Top of the morning, happy hump day. It is Wednesday. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Every day that passes is every day we get closer to legal tampering and free agency. Welcome one, welcome all, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're gonna compare two quarterbacks because I'm starting to analyze potentials in the draft. I'm trying to guesstimate what the Raiders might have up their sleeve. I'm going a direction with it. I'm not saying this is exactly what they're doing, but I'm saying this is what they could be doing. So, man, salute to all y'all, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. It's a pleasure to have each and one of y'all here. You feel me? Salute to the world's most dangerous chat. You know what it is. God dang, y'all motherfuckers been in here active. Y'all in there having porn sessions and shit. All right. Now let's get to it, man. For real. All right. Oh shit. Here we go again. All right. Let me. Ilya Zamyatin. Ilya Zamyatin. Salute to you. I hope that is correct. Man, hey, every time I see it, I'm like, I gotta get it right. The mod with the most, man, NorCal Raider Jesse in the building. Salute to you as well, my brother. Mike G in the building, man. Salute. Yes, indeed. Happy hump day. Yes, indeed. Cassano Crowder, what's the deal, man? We need to get Caleb Williams. It ain't gonna happen, bruh. We don't need Caleb. I'm breaking it down to y'all today. I'm gonna show y'all something. We got Desert Rat in the building, man. Salute to you. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me see what else we got up in this Mickey Ficky. Raider Paul with the Raiders. That's right. You gotta hold that note, man. Like you know what I mean, man? Yeah, look like Raiders might pick up. Hey, we'll see what happens, bro. Like I said, I'm down for it. And we talked about that shit, bro. It'll help this team past him to get better just because of the money. They said that Denver has allowed and gave permission to Wilson to seek a trade, but ain't nobody seeking a trade for 40 mil, bro. They're going to have to release him, and they're going to have to eat that 40 mil because he's going to go somewhere and sign for the minimum, 1.21 million. And they got to foot the bill on the rest. You feel me? So that's and then he's been talking shit like as far as saying that he has a lot to show people that he ain't done, that he is the player that he wants. Hey, he got a lot to prove. You got, if you deal with a person or a player that has it stuck in his mind that he has a lot to prove and he's scorned, watch your ass. He's on one. So that's why I said we might as well be the ones to benefit from it. Fucking get Wilson. Hey, for real though. I say the same shit. Eugene Powell right in the kisser, man. Salute to you. Top of the AM. Raider Syndicate in the building, man. What the deal? That's right. Let me see what else we got up in here, man. Scroll down. E plural Raiders unum. What's the deal, man? Salute to you. Top of the AM. Egalitarian 207 in the house. What's the deal, man? Salute. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me see what else. Lunatic, you gotta let Jaden Daniels go. Yeah, man. I'm knowing it doesn't look likely, but I have seen stranger things in the draft, bruh. Sometimes players fall a little bit that you didn't think. Like, for instance, who remember the draft when Aaron Rodgers got drafted? Who would have thought Aaron Rodgers would have dropped all the way to the bottom of the first round, coming out of Cal Berkeley? I was watching his games. You know what I mean? I go to Cal Berkeley games when Oregon comes and play, so I seen him play. But whoever would have thunk he would have dropped all the way down. You feel me? Shit like that happens, bruh. There might be teams out there that's gonna value other quarterbacks over Jaden Daniels. The way the surge of JJ McCarthy is rising, and I think the main part of that is he jumped his weight from 202 to 219. That soothed a lot, which I don't understand why people trip off of that, because the team itself is gonna put him on a regiment to gain weight anyway. You know what I mean? So it ain't no panic. He's 202 pounds. Even though I was like, my thing was, why is it a contradiction when it was Jaden Daniels at 210 and JJ McCarthy at 202, but they never mentioned the weight of McCarthy. Never. And then here's the other double standard with JJ McCarthy. He didn't throw a lot at Michigan because that's the offense they ran. But Bo Nix gets slaughtered because Oregon's offense is the way it is, and he didn't, you know what I mean, didn't go deep a lot of times. But when he did go deep, he hit they motherfucking ass. He hit they ass deep. I watched every Oregon Duck game there is because I'm a Duck fan. So I sat there and I watched this dude play. For them to even question his arm was ridiculous. The most accurate quarterback in college history. But his percentage is only up there because of the offense Oregon ran. But you give JJ McCarthy a pass for not only throwing over, getting close to 3,000 yards because that's not the offense Michigan ran. Get the fuck out of here. That's what I be hating, man. Make it a level playing field. That's all I ask. I'm not being biased. I'm just saying the fact that I'm calling a strike and a ball. Be fucking even with the calling. If JJ McCarthy is allowed to not throw for hella yards because of the offense they run, then don't get on Bo Nix because he doesn't go deep as often because of the offense Oregon runs. The only reason why he had 77.2% percentage of completions is because it was a lot of short passes. That's the fucking offense they run. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, let's move forward. Let me see who else we got up in here. Brian Rodriguez, what's the deal, man? Salute to you. Top of the AM. Yes, indeed. Graham Cam, what's the deal? Another day. Another motherfucking... did I say fuck? I shouldn't cuss before blessing, huh? Another day, another blessing. You right. When you wake up and take that first breath, you blessed. For real. Wake and bake. Stuvie. Raider Paul Stuvie. Let me see. Let me keep scrolling. I know we got y'all up in here. Make sure I ain't forgot nobody. Top de Leon, what's the deal, man? Salute to you. Top of the AM. Yes, sir. Keep it scrolling. Yeah. We're gonna dive into it, man. I got a good idea of some shit. Well, I don't know if I can't say the Raiders are gonna do anything. Anybody out there saying the Raiders gonna predict what the Raiders gonna do, good luck with that shit. Bet your channel you don't get it right. No, let me quit. No. Do not say that about Jordan Travis, bro. I broke this man's statistics down, bro. That injury is the only thing that got him not going in the first round. They got him slotted between second and third round because of the injury. But he was at the combine. He didn't perform in none of the the attractions, but he did let it be known that he just got out of his walking boot a week ago and that he should be cleared and ready to go by May. We're in March now, so 2 more months. May, he should be ready to go. But this boy, I'm telling you, if you can't get Jaden Daniels and you need a poor man's Jaden Daniels, yeah, we're going to talk about it. We definitely going to talk about it. Stay tuned. Wild Turkey in the Mickey Ficky house. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Trigger Raider Nation for life. What's the deal, man? Top of the AM. Gravy in the building. Top of the morning, my guy. Thank you for being here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm almost, yeah. Oh, shit. Y'all got me in here. Social butterfly. I see you, girl. Sugar tits. No, let me quit. I call her sugar tits. She don't like that shit. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, you know what else I can call you, right? You know what else I can call you, right? Yeah, you better take sugar tits. You know what I mean? I don't think you like the nickname Wet Wet. Nah, let me quit. There's Tony Shepard in the building, man. Top of the AM, bruh. Thank you for being here. Yes, indeed. Vinny Thomas is in the building, man. What's up, man? Happy hump day, for real, for real. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the end. I'm almost there. We can start this show, bruh. I gotta salute y'all though. Like I say, every morning I salute y'all, because if y'all wasn't in here, wouldn't be no show. Factors. Raider Syndicate in the building. Hey, Looney. Jay needs to just come out and say to other teams, please don't draft me. I thought you gonna say he just got to come out and say he's gay. hey, fools will pass him up. Raiders, hey, we don't discriminate. We don't give a damn if you like penis. If you could throw deep and be accurate, that's all we care about. We don't care if the ball smell like butthole. You feel me? We don't. Hey. Let me quit. That's fucked up. Bo Nix lost every important game. Nah, bro. What, 2? You talk about 2 games, and he didn't lose those games. We the people. Go watch the games and tell me who lost the game. Look, Bo Nix was the one that went down the field, scored the touchdown. Well, that's game 2. Game 1, drove down the field for the field goal kicker to kick an easy-ass field goal to tie it to go into OT, and the field goal kicker missed it. Game 2 against Washington in the championship, the Pac-12 championship, Bo Nix drove the Ducks all the way down to score the touchdown to win the game with a minute and something left, but the defense allowed Washington to drive back to win the game. Watch the repeat. Bo ain't had nothing to do with those losses. And that's the only 2 losses he had. Top of the morning, Jack Kenner. It's good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Hey, if you look to your left, we got the strippers over here, and we got coffee, donuts, and whiskey. I don't know what you like, but hey, we got different flavors. No, he did good against Washington, bro. Boy, you don't even watch Oregon Duck. I'm passing you by, bro. You tripping. You saying some shit that a motherfucker that hate Bo Nix would say. And I'm like, I watched every Bo Nix game there is, and I'm telling you, watch who gets them. Watch who gets them and watch what happens. You don't accidentally. Come on now. As long as the game of football existed in NCAA, he's the all-time leading percentage of completions. No, you know who had it? Who's the quarterback that came out of Alabama? And I think he was with. Oh, who is he with? New England. The quarterback had the record coming out of Alabama, and Bo Nix beat that. Like I said, if you go watch the biggest games that he lost, was not games he lost. Go watch that shit. I just told you the outcome. Bo Nix drove Oregon against Washington. All the way down, field goal range, tie it, going overtime, field goal kicker miss it. The championship of the Pac-12. drove Oregon all the way down, got the touchdown to get the lead with only a minute something left in the game. The defense allowed Washington to drive all the way down and let Penix get the touchdown to win the game. That had Bo Nix wasn't even on the field when they lost those games. Both times. And that's the only 2 games they lost. But ain't nobody gonna mention when they scored. What did they score? 80-something points? One game? I'll get to that in a minute, man. I'm not. Matter of fact, this show ain't even about Bo Nix. It's about something else, man. I'm trying to guess what the Raiders is gonna do if it ain't. You said his arm is not that good. He said some of every quarterback's had throws that were ducks. I was watching J.J. McCarthy. He was in the flat, ducks. I seen Michael Penix throw it over the head of the receiver. I seen them all do that shit. Now, we can't say nothing about Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams because they didn't even participate. But these other, like you sit back and you watch, what's dude name? Joe, is it Joe Mixon? Quarterback out of Tennessee. He was throwing bombs right in the receiver's hands. He didn't do that shit in the Senior Bowl. He threw an interception and then threw a ball into the ground when the motherfucking check down was only 5 yards away with nobody on him. So, I mean, I don't know how we gauge in the combine anyway when you got quarterbacks out there throwing with no defensive pressure and the receivers ain't got no corners on them. Show me what you do in a game. You might be nervous. You got everybody around you just watching. You're not even playing in the game. They just watching you. And your thing in your head is, man, can't fuck the money off. That's all combine is for the players, not to fuck their money off, to improve their money or to not improve their money. That's all that shit is. Y'all better take that combine shit with a grain of salt. You're not throwing the receivers and you familiar with how they run their routes. You know what I mean? You throwing the strangers. I don't know how fast you are, if you can catch up to my throw, or if you run the correct route, crisp, or are you just going out your way to round it out? I don't know none of that shit. You know what I mean? That's why I said the combine's the combine. Combine is the combine. You can't read too much into that shit. All right, man. You know what? I'm just gonna skip all the way down. If I missed y'all, I'll catch you on the rebound. Salute to the world's most dangerous chat. Like I say, without you, there's no me, and without us, there's no nation. There's only one motherfucking nation. That's the motherfucking Raider Nation. Salute, chat. Thank y'all we damn near the 1600. Salute to y'all for making this shit happen. We working our way to 2000. Somebody's gonna win a jersey. You know what I mean? So until then, man, keep the process going. One nation. Let's go. Yes, sir. All right. So we're going to get into this real quick. Now, my breakdown is this. I've been trying to assess the Raiders and the rumors of them floating around about moving up to the top 3. And then another rumor came out with them trying to find 5 to 7. Now, the take on this with the 5 and 7 trade up, which, you know what I mean, it will take less draft picks to move up the 5 to 7 than it would to move up the 1, 2, 3. Now, some people looked at it as, well, maybe the Raiders is trying to move up the 5 and 7 and then wait and see what happens in the top 3 to make their move in case Jaden becomes available, make their move and grab him. I don't think that's the case, because then you're going to be giving up probably more assets moving up twice than you would just moving up once, because whoever you move up to in 5 to 7 is going to ask for what from 13 to that slot. They're going to ask for their compensation. And any team 1, 2, 3, where if a quarterback fall and you there between 5, 6, and 7, and you trying to move up, now they're going to have an asking price. Even though it's not as far as 13, they still, you might be overcompensated by maybe a pick or two. And I'm not saying extra picks, I'm saying where the pick is. You see what I mean? So that don't make sense. Now I'm gonna tell you what does make sense. And I salute the Raiders, because what they're doing is exactly what you're supposed to do. They're covering their ass and covering all bases, and they got more than one game plan as far as achieving, not just a quarterback, but achieving making this roster better. So my thing is this. If you move up to 1, 2, 3, we know that's Jaden Daniels. You know we're going to give up first-round picks and second-round picks, right? We know that's a done deal. But if you move the 5, 6, 7, the way I looked at it, which 5 is, okay, let me see if I can remember this. 5 is the Chargers, 6 is the Giants, and 7 is the Tennessee Titans. And I heard that they had made a call already to the Tennessee Titans. Now, here's the thing that's very interesting about going 5, 6, 7. I'm telling you, Lunatic bringing you this shit. Matter of fact, let me get another sip. Watch how I break this shit down. Doing your homework pays off. Watch. Even though I should have did it in high school and I wouldn't have had a GED. But oh well, fuck it. All right. So here's the whole scenario. Let me see if I can pull up. Let me get the draft order one time real quick. 2024 NFL draft order. Now watch how I'm gonna break this shit down to y'all. Cause I was looking at the draft picks and looking at the teams and what they need, and I'm like, wait a fucking minute. If the Raiders are trying to move the 5, 6, 7, it might not even be for a quarterback. Why would that be? How could that happen? Let me break it down to you. I'm not fucking with Kirk Cousins. It's going to eat up a lot of our salary cap that we do have available. I'm good with that. That's why I'd rather go with Wilson, because of the cheap ass salary he'll require. And that'll allow us to make other moves on the roster to get this team better. And this team will be better because of it, even after Russell Wilson is gone. See, that's why I said everybody's just focusing on, oh, I don't like his attitude. Oh, he does not fit our culture. He ain't got no fucking choice. You come in here for 1 year and do some stupid shit, ain't nobody fucking with you. He trying to get to the guap again, bruh. Even though Denver's paying him, but he's not done. So we got to take advantage of that. He's going to come out here. It's just like somebody in their contract year. You know they're going to borrow. Look, what did Josh Jacobs do in his contract year? Not this past season, but the season before, because he got hurt. He balled. Trying to get that bag. Russell Wilson ain't no difference. He's trying to get the bag, bruh. He's going to have to fall in line. And I'm not worried with AP as the head coach, him not falling in line. At $1.2 million, if he don't fall in line, you can cut his punk ass and it ain't going to hurt you one fucking bit. We got people like, what's the corner name? Jason, or whatever his name is. He's making $2 fucking million. If we cut him, that saves us 2-point-something million. He'll be making more than Russell Wilson. But we about to release his ass. That's why I said it's a perfect scenario. You know what I mean? He can't hurt us. There's nothing Russell Wilson can do if we sign him at the league minimum that he can do to hurt us. Period. If anything, he'll be hurt by us if we let his ass go. Peace out. Let me see. Yes, AOC is not better than Russell. Facts. Last year, look, everybody said Russell had a horrible year. Do you know he was top 5 in touchdown and interception ratio? That's right. I think he had 22 touchdowns and 8 interceptions? Like I said, I'm comfortable with quarterbacks keeping the interception single digit. Anything above single digit, you need to be kind of worried. Like, bro, are you out there trying to gunsling too much? He kept it to single digits. I ain't got no worries with that. And his touchdowns was at least in the 20s. Did we forget he went on a 5-game win streak on a trash ass team? They had different hella trash. Can't nobody tell me no different. That's a trash ass team. That's why they're rebuilding. That's why they fired the coach last year and brought in Sean Payton. They didn't fire him because they was trash. I mean, because they wasn't trash. Just like we were trash under McDaniels. That's why McDaniels got fired. Trash. He had too much talent to be that fucking horrible. As soon as you get rid of him, get AP in there, we start winning. AP had a better winning record than fucking McDaniels did, and he had a year and a half to do it. AP only had the rest of the season. Ain't that a bitch? All right, so now let's get back to the subject at hand. All right, so if the Raiders are indeed looking at 5, 6, and 7, I think that's their backup plan in case somebody drafts Jayden Daniels and we can't move up top 3 to get him. So what happens? Well, if you can't go top 3 because he's already gone by the 3rd pick, then your next shot is with those draft picks coming in at 1, 2, 3, you got to act. And then notice they didn't mention the number 4 draft pick. Notice that. Why? How come they didn't say the Raiders were looking at 4, 5, 6, and 7? Or looking at 1, 2, 3, 4? Because everybody knows Arizona's pick is probably up for auction. But why has not the number 4 overall pick have been connected to the Raiders? I'm going to tell you why. We know the draft moves fast. If you're waiting on Jayden Daniels to see what happens for you to make your move, because you don't want to pay the high, steep price of moving up in the top 3, you leave number 4 open, because number 4 might be where you might want to jump to get Jayden Daniels. 5, 6, 7 won't have anything to do with Jayden Daniels. Just listen, hear me out. It won't have nothing to do with it. Number 4 does. But you can't be attached to number 4, because number 4 is only going to work in your favor if Daniels gets past number 3. Then you get on the phone with Arizona and be like, we want your pick. And it won't cost as much as Chicago would have charged us at number 1. So you leave number 4 alone. 4 is not even attached to us at all, period, in any scenario that's leaked out there. But at the same time, if Jayden Daniels is gone by the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd pick, number 4 gives you enough time for whatever Arizona does for you to work out a deal to move the 5, 6, or 7. Because 4 is not what you're shooting at if Jayden Daniels is gone. Like I said, you got to get that pick in, that trade in and that pick in, or you can get passed over by the next team and they can make their selection before you can. And what if they're trying to do the same thing you doing? They'll beat you out because they got their shit in before you did. You can't be late with it. So you got to give yourself time. What is the time? Arizona's pick, number 4. If Jayden Daniels is gone by the 3rd pick to New England or the 2nd pick to Washington, depending on what Chicago does, that gives you enough time to work the phones, get on there with the Chargers at 5, Giants at 6, and Tennessee at 7, just in case one of these teams shut you down and be like, we're not trading. Then you got to move to the next one. And you know those 3 teams, the Giants are the only one I can see that would probably go quarterback if the rumors are true. But then again, maybe they're not just hell-bent set on getting a quarterback at number 6 and will, trade back to get more compensation to add to their roster. You know what I mean? The Chargers, that's probably our most likely trade target for the fact Telesco got a rapport with them. And you figure we can help the Chargers the same way they can help us. They can help us move up, and we can help them relieve some of their salary cap woes by whatever player they want to put into a trade, and we can absorb their contract. Maybe it's a Khalil Mack. Maybe it's a Bosa. Who knows? We can absorb it. Khalil Mack makes the most sense. He only has, I think, if I remember right, 1 year left on his deal. Now, why would the Raiders move up to 5, 6, or 7? Let me tell you, if Jaden Daniels is gone, now you got to go to plan B. Plan B does not require you to go select a quarterback. This is what I'm assuming, and I'm going to tell you why I assume it. I assume the Raiders move up to 5, 6, or 7 to get Joe Alt, offensive tackle. Because if you miss out on Jaden Daniels, it's most likely you're going with Aiden O'Connell. And if you're going to go with Aiden O'Connell, you got to give him an offensive line to protect him so he can make the throws and keep him clean and upright in the pocket. How do you do that? You go get you a dominating ass #1 overall right tackle in the draft with Joe Alt. Now, how do I come to the conclusion of Joe Alt? Joe Alt will be there between 5, 6, and 7. And I'm pretty sure of that. Chargers ain't gonna take Joe Alt. Giants, if Giants go quarterback, it's probably gonna be JJ McCarthy if he's there. I just gotta that's something that I can see. JJ McCarthy be something that New York will fuck with at 6. At 7, Tennessee will not go. I don't think they go Joe Alt. I don't think they do that. I think they go for one of the big wide receivers. You know what I mean? Now, when you get past Tennessee, now your question comes into play as far as these next few teams, do they need an OT? Now, we keep hearing Atlanta Falcons going in and trading for Fields. If you trade for Fields, that's probably going to be a 3rd round pick. What do you do in the 1st round? You go Joe Alt at tackle at that number 8 spot. That's where Joe Alt can end up going off the board. He can also go off the board to Chicago at 9, because if Chicago drafts Caleb Williams, Joe Alt would make sense to go ahead and give Caleb Williams protection in the pocket. Because they'll go after an offensive tackle for real. You got to keep your rookie quarterbacks upright, because most likely, if you get rid of Fields, you have no choice but to start Caleb Williams. Then we go to the New York Jets. The New York Jets also needs an offensive tackle. If you don't want Aaron Rodgers to tear that AC or that Achilles again, you make sure that line gets built up nice. You build that line up. That line is I ain't gonna say horrible, but it's not like an elite ass offensive line with the Jets. So Joe Alt makes big sense for the Jets. Then you look at Minnesota Vikings. Now, they're more needy of an offensive guard than a tackle. So I'm not even gonna go with Minnesota, and then I'm not even gonna trip off the Denver Broncos. So you figure so we'll stop at Minnesota. Minnesota, I don't think they go offensive tackle. Guard is more important than tackle on their offensive line. But you got the Jets, who needs offensive tackle, the Bears, who needs offensive tackle, and Atlanta Falcons, who needs an offensive tackle, and that comes after 5, 6, 7. Well, they said, well, Lunatik. That does make sense. I know it makes sense. Why are they picking a slot of 5, 6, 7 right before the teams that need offensive tackles? It just makes too much sense. Plus, we need an offensive tackle, especially if you're going to stick with AOC. You got to solidify the offensive line if you stick with AOC, because his mobility ain't there. So what you do is, well, fuck it. If he ain't gonna run, let's make sure he don't have to. That's common sense. If he ain't gonna run, let's make sure he don't have to. Facts. So 5, 6, 7 makes sense. And that's why number 4 has not been mentioned as a particular draft slot for the Raiders to trade up to, because that's going to be our time shield. Not just our time shield, as far, like I said, say for instance, we sitting watching the draft. We're not going to move. Put it like this. We looked at 1, 2, 3. I think it's too rich for our blood. It's too rich for our blood. So all we can do now is when the draft starts, we can only sit and watch what 1, 2, 3, what they do. If Jaden Daniels get past number 3, you call up the Cardinals. Let us get 4. Then Jaden Daniels is yours. Then Jaden Daniels is yours. He said, forgive Raider Paul. He's a little slow. Hey, Paul, don't start no shit, bruh. I got time. Hey, I got timeouts like a motherfucker. I told you, man. Hey, motherfuckers ain't feeling that shit. You know what I mean? I gave you a heads up. It ain't like I ain't told you. Now back to the matter at most. So that's why number 4 is left open, and that's why it's only 5, 6, 7 that the Raiders have even thought about, and I heard they already reached out to Tennessee at 7. So we're gonna see how this shit unfolds. But my instincts is telling me, if you miss out on Jaden Daniels, then you go offensive tackle. Now, if you go offensive tackle, I don't think it's gonna cost you. If you give, like, in 5, 6, or 7, you probably only have to give them this year's first. I would not give them a second this year. Not for this game plan to work. I'm going to get to that game plan in a minute. First shoe to drop would be offensive tackle Joe Alt. Hands down. If Jaden Daniels is gone in the first 3 picks. So now you go Joe Alt. And you do that by moving 5, 6, 7. It depends on how, you know what I mean, whatever pick you can get out of them. That's not going to just rape you. Now, the game plan for going to get Joe Alt, it gives you a multitude of different selections or choices. You can stick with AOC, get him protection on the line, and ride with him, and that's it. You don't get no quarterback. Or you can ride the draft out after you get Joe Alt by trading up to get him and using your second or your third to get Jordan Travis. Yeah, I said it. People don't like Jordan Travis. I don't know why. The boy's statistics is... Let me stop talking about it and let's just take a look. Let's compare these. This is Jaden Daniels and Jordan Travis's statistics for the last 2 years. 2022, 2023. Now, don't forget, Jordan Travis was hurt last year. He only played 11 games. But it's not far off from as many games as Jaden Daniels. Now, Jaden Daniels, hands down, his athleticism, his ability to tuck the ball and run, unlike no other in this draft to me, unlike no other. He is a threat when he tucks the ball and run, like a threat to score. That's Jaden Daniels. Now, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, if our coaches are looking at Jaden Daniels and what he brings to the table, and Getsy saying it, AP saying it, as far as what type of quarterback you want, and if Jaden Daniels is your target, then that means everything that everything that Jaden Daniels provides you is what you want in this offense. Now, if you can't get that, if Jaden Daniels is gone, and you go the route of getting Joe Alt, offensive tackle, then your poor man's version of Jaden Daniels will be Jordan Travis. I went back and watched this dude's film. Look at his stats. Let's go over his stats real quick, just so we can set up the whole scenario of this. 2022, let's go with Jaden Daniels first. He played in 14 games. He had 266 completions out of 388 attempts, 2,913 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a 68.6 completion percentage. Now let's compare Jordan Travis. Played in 13 games, 1 game less than Jaden Daniels. He had 226 completions, 3 out of 353 attempts. He had more yards in 1 less game than Jaden Daniels with 3,214 yards passing. He got him by 300 yards. He got 300 yards more than Jaden Daniels in 1 less game. And not just that, he did it with less attempts, with 35 less attempts throwing the ball. He had 24 TDs, which are 7 more than Jaden Daniels, and 5 interceptions, which is 2 more than Jaden Daniels, with a 64% completion percentage. Now, like I told you, to me, a college player, I want mid-60s and higher completion percentage. But when he was healthy in 2022, Jordan Travis, that is, he outdid Jaden Daniels in 2022 as well in 1 less game. Now, let's go to 2023. 2023, Jaden Daniels had played in 12 games. He had 236 completions out of 327 attempts. He threw for 3,812 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions with a 72.2% completion rate. That is spectacular. Damn near 4,000 yards passing, over 40 yards. And see, these are passing touchdowns that he got. Not to mention the 1,100 yards he rushed for. And I think he also had 10 touchdowns rushing. So Jaden Daniels, like I said, Jaden Daniels is the dude. He's the better of these two. But if you need someone who's similar to Jaden Daniels, but can wait till the second or maybe the third round to get him, Jordan Travis will have to be you have to have your eyes on him to get him later, but be able to produce the same way. Now, he didn't have 1,100 yards rushing, but he did have, I think he did about 500 yards rushing, 400 yards rushing, but he did average 7 touchdowns on the ground for the last 4 or 5 years, if I remember right. Jordan Travis has 6 years in college. So you look at Jaden Daniels has 6 years in college. So that extra experience of 2 years can do a quarterback great for any team drafting them in the NFL. Now we look at Jordan Travis's 2023 statistics. He played in 11 games, which is 1 game less again than Jaden Daniels. He had completions of 205. Don't forget, he got hurt that season. He had 205 completions out of 320 attempts. So 7 less attempts, and he had 31 less completions. He had 2,734 yards passing, which is about 500 yards, 520, 519 yards less than he had in 2022. Compared to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels had 38-12 in 2023, and Jordan Travis had about 1,100 less than that. Jordan Travis had 20 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions with a 64.1 completion percentage. That's that mid-level completion percentage, like I told you. Mid-60s on up is what you want. Single-digit interceptions is what you want. He only had 2 interceptions in 11 games. Only 2. He takes care of the ball. He doesn't make careless throws. Neither does Jaden Daniels. I'm not saying Jaden Daniels doesn't. But I'm saying, if you go watch Jordan Travis's highlight reel and the times that he took the ball and took off running, to me, him and Jaden Daniels were the only 2 quarterbacks. I won't say the only 2, but the only 2 with their athleticism that did that shit. Caleb Williams, like, he scrambled around, but he was more into passing the ball and trying to make a play. But sometimes when you throw across your body, everybody say, "Oh, he made a hell of a throw going across his body." But nobody ever recommends you do that. You know that? Nobody ever recommends, "Hey, throw across your body if nobody's open." Nobody says that shit because bad shit happens. But Jordan Travis, athletically, is the closest thing you're going to get to a Jaden Daniels. And he's not far off. Like I said, I don't look at the 2023 because, yes, Jaden Daniels had a breakout in 2023, but he doesn't have a 2024 rookie year for us to compare that to. And you figure Jordan Travis' best year was 2022 because 2023 he got hurt. So we don't really when's his breakout? But that 2022 year was solid. And 2023 wasn't bad at all, considering it was only 11 games. Damn near, close to 3,000 yards with over 20 touchdowns. Because like I said, he rushed for 7. So, but Jaden Daniels, he did his thizzle though. So I'm saying, if your intentions is to get Jaden Daniels and somebody gets Jaden Daniels, what is your next best choice of getting a quarterback that will fall in the same parameter as a Jaden Daniels, that can provide you with the same ability as Jaden Daniels to fit your offense that you want to run? Because obvious AP has in mind a certain type of offense, and so does Getsy. Because Getsy has been coaching quarterbacks with the same attributes. The same fucking attributes Jaden Daniels has and Jordan Travis has is the same as fucking Fields and Jordan Love. Hands down. All 4 of those guys can tuck the ball, and they're a threat to taking it all the way to the end zone and not just move the chains. Bo Nix, he'll move the chains. Drake May, he'll move the chains. Caleb ain't trying to take it to the end zone. He'll move the chains though. But he's more satisfied with just scrambling around, getting away from dangerous situations and still making the pass downfield. That's fine. But sometimes that shit forces you into a situation where you might force a turnover. You don't have to force the throw. You know what I mean? So what you want to do is be the quarterback in the pocket. If all else fails, tuck the ball, and if that middle opens, you run your ass. If you got Joe Alt at right tackle, you can run either left behind Colton Miller or you can run right behind Joe Alt to the right. We just got to figure out our center and our guards. I think our guards are on the team, and I think a center we grab in the free agency. This line will be revamped. Oh, it will be revamped. And whoever's in the behind center, oh, they're gonna prosper from it. Now, see, this is my thing though. I'm looking at all the clues that AP and them has given us. Everybody likes AOC. I get it. But he lacks the legs. Well, you can still run the offense without him running, but is that what they want to do? Do they want to limit their playbook by having someone that's one-dimensional, that has to stay in the pocket and throw? And everything that they said is they want a quarterback that can do everything, that can run, use their legs, extend plays, and be able to throw. They want that. What's the clues? Being attached to Jaden Daniels. Clue number 1. Or the clue one before that one was you went out there and signed Anthony Brown. Now, I know Anthony Brown ain't going to be 1, 2, or not, maybe even 3 third-string quarterback. He might just be practice squad. But as a practice squad QB, he's a dual-threat quarterback. He can run and throw. It may not be as good as others. That's why he's on the practice squad. But just imagine when you have practice and you want to mix the ones and twos with different quarterbacks, you want to be able to keep your ones and twos still in the same sync as the same type of quarterback throwing or running with you. Because offensive linemen, if you got a quarterback that can't run, your blocking is different. Your blocking is different. I'm protecting the pocket, but if I got a quarterback that can tuck it and run, now my blocking is different. Now I got to block for him running the ball. Whereas I just got to stay here and block to keep the pocket clean against a quarterback that ain't going to run. So when you're in practice and you're moving one quarterback, the number 2 and 3 quarterbacks around, working with different groups, just so everybody can get familiar with everybody, different offensive linemen, different running backs, different wide receivers, you want to be able to keep the same type of energy from the first quarterback to the third quarterback, so you don't have to try to, because see, the reason why I say this is because they asked about Michael Penix. Michael Penix is a left-handed quarterback, and somebody had asked a question, does a left-handed quarterback causes a big strain on your offense because he's not right-handed? And a GM and somebody within the organization, they told Hondo this, that's not the issue. They can if your starting quarterback is left-handed, they can set their mindset and know what to do. He said the problem is when you switch from a left-handed quarterback to a right quarterback or vice versa, such as injuries. If we have Michael Penix and all of a sudden he gets hurt in the game, now all the offensive linemen have to reverse their train of thought. And they said that is very difficult to do that in an instant within a game. So you would also think if they do that with left-handed quarterbacks, it would be the same for quarterbacks that have different abilities. Like if I got a quarterback that can throw and run, I got to always be aware that he might tuck it and run, and then I got to be a blocker for him. Don't want him to get hit and hurt. So I got to become a blocker for him outside of the pocket. But if I got a quarterback back here that won't tuck it and run, then my mindset is, I just got to stay here and keep the pocket clean. He ain't going to scramble. He ain't going to try to tuck it and run. Your thought process is different. Can you imagine blocking for a quarterback that's not mobile, that you got to keep the pocket clean, but you slip and think, oh, that's Jaden Daniels back there. So now you get out of, you know what I mean? You're looking at, you doing your blocking, and then all of a sudden you come out of your block to try to block, and like let the motherfucker in to get to get AOC. That's why I said AOC doesn't fit what we doing, y'all. Doesn't fit what we trying to do. It ain't going, that's not what it is, bruh. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all like the way his dick tastes, and that's fine. That's fine. If y'all like his dick, hey, his dick taste good. No, let me quit. Let me quit playing with y'all. But for real, he does not fit what we're trying to do. All the fucking clues is there. All the clues is there. All the clues is there, bruh. You know what I mean? And that's just like people say Spencer Rattler. Rattler ran a 4.95 40. He ran slower than some of these defensive tackles at 300 pounds. Bruh, how is he going to get away? How is he going to get away from a defensive tackle or a defensive end that's running a 4.5 or a linebacker running a 4.49? How is he going to get away? That's what I said. Everybody was high on Rattler till you seen that 40 time. Slow-footed as a motherfucker. Dictate good. Remember, hey, that was a Buckwheat joke. They said, hey, Buckwheat. But they was doing a spelling bee in class. They asked Buckwheat, hey, Buckwheat, spell dictate. He said Dictate. Now use dictate in a sentence. He said, "Alfalfa say my dick take good." Oh, that's an old ass joke. Yeah, hey, OG Raider 805 for real. This is why I'm calling him the poor man's Jayden Daniels. There's a certain kind of image that AP and Getsy has with the offense. They got a vision for this offense as far as what they want it to be. What do you guys think? Hold on. I'm trying to read the shit. The shit went by on me. What do you guys think of spending big on Chris Jones? I wouldn't go over 30. You know what? You know what I would do? To be honest with you, Jack, that's a good question. I would match anything KC offers because he'll get a little bit more, about 5% more than KC, because I think there are 4.95% state income tax state, and we're 0. So we can basically offer the same thing Kansas City offers, and he'll end up walking with more. So that's our, you know what I mean, our angle as far as trying to get him to come here. Shit, can you imagine 5% on 30 mil? That's what, 1.5 million on 30 mil a year? Bruh, he ain't turning down that shit. 1.5 million, that you rounded off the 5%, that's 1.5 million, bruh. That he's walking extra with. You feel me? So I think we got the leg up if we're willing to offer whatever it is Kansas City is willing to offer. But we can pretty much match them. They would have to extend a contract to him. But like I said, all we got to do is match whatever we're willing to go up to. Just match Kansas City, and we can have Jones. We can have, if you're willing to spend that, though. That's the key. Are we willing to spend 30 mil? I think it will change that defense into something very special. You put Jones next to Max Crosby, oh my God. And you draft some more defensive tackles or maybe linebackers, or you can still go on free agency and grab. That's why I said Russell Wilson allows you to do that. You won't be able to get a Chris Jones if you sign a Kirk Cousins. It's not gonna happen. Because Kirk Cousins talked about he won 3 years guaranteed. That means AOC ain't never going to see daylight for 3 years. You can't go Kirk Cousins. But a Wilson at 1.2 mil, that gives you a lot of money to still go get Jones. Maybe you go get Patrick Queen, linebacker from Baltimore. Maybe you go that route as well. You get the trenches and you get behind the trenches and start filling out your roster, because we can draft the corner. So it like I said, we got, bruh, the Raiders are in a very good situation, y'all, where we got options. Now, I'm not saying the options that I'm offering are options that, you know what I mean, the Raiders are entertaining, but what I'm saying is there's a multitude of different angles we can approach this draft and free agency. We're not like, if we don't get Jayden Daniels, then the world is over. Then hell, fuck no. Fuck no. That's a no. If Jayden Daniels ain't there, it's just, oh well, on to plan B. That's why I said moving up to 5, 6, 7 makes sense for them to go after Joe Alt, and then we worry about the quarterback later. Because they got Jordan Travis slated for 2nd or 3rd round. You just got to gauge it. You might even be able to trade back from the 3rd into the 2nd round to get a Jordan Travis and still keep you the 2nd round pick to get you what maybe a corner. 2nd round sounds good for a corner. Or maybe you go a different route in the 2nd round. It all depends on what the draft board looks like. What players do you have ranked, and in what order are they? I would love to be a fly on the wall in that war room, bro. As much knowledge that's gonna be in that room during the draft. Same with the free agency. As much knowledge is gonna be on this team from Marvin Lewis, Tom Coughlin. You feel me? It just Joe Philbin? What? These guys got Super Bowls under their fucking belt. AP, Super Bowl under his belt. I would love to just see them brainstorm. And like I said, and AP came out and said what it is. He said he's willing to move up. He'll take that chance, and you're supposed to. If you feel like that guy is that guy, you go get him by all means necessary. It's no different than dating. If you think that girl's that girl, you go get her. You don't let none of these other motherfucking suckers come and press her with flowers and chocolates. Fuck that. You give her a dick with a bow on it. You feel me? You go get him. But AP did say, but they have to agree on it as a collective. And that's a very smart thing to do, because we didn't have a collective when Ziggler and McDaniels was here. Fucking McDaniels was say all, end all. Whatever he said goes. And that hurt us, because we missed out on the opportunities that Ziggler had focused on that would have made perfect sense for the Raiders. Keeping Stidham and not getting Garoppolo, perfect sense. Moving up to get CJ Stroud, perfect sense. But punk ass Daniels trumped that shit. Nope, we ain't doing that. Now they got a good group of guys with good minds, football minds, that's gonna sit there and not argue, but just put out the truth, the facts. Here's the facts of this player, and this is weighed out against this player. You know what I mean? Is it worth moving up by giving up this pick, and this pick, or should we just sit still or trade back? We got options, y'all. We have not been in a scenario like this in I don't know how long, bruh. With money like we got under the cap, we need a quarterback in a quarterback deep draft. We need an offensive lineman in an offensive lineman deep draft. You feel me? Bruh. We just got to see how this shit happens, man. I can't wait till Monday. I can't wait till the rumors come out with such and such is in Vegas now to discuss. You know what I mean? Well, they ain't going to probably be in Vegas that early because they're not allowed to sign until Wednesday. So the 13th is when you're allowed to sign the contracts. 11 is when you're allowed to negotiate them. But you'll get rumors. We can verbally agree on some shit. Schefter and all of them is going to come out. The Raiders have agreed to a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year contract with Chris Jones, Leonard Williams, whatever. You know what I mean? And there's still going to be guys being released. I can't. Let me see. What is the deadline for teams to release NFL players before free agency?
According to USA Today, this year, that falls on Wednesday, March 13th, after 4 p.m. Eastern Time. At that time, any player contracts that were due to expire at the end of the 2023 season will formally expire, and the NFL league calendar will officially transition to 2024.
So Wednesday, March 13th at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, contracts of soon-to-be free agents will expire, making them free agents. And because that's the league calendar will officially transition to 2024 on March 13th. So they got till Wednesday. What they gonna do? Because you gotta, and some of these players gonna be allotted as post June 1st. Lobby One, what's the deal, man? Salute to you. Top of the AM. But yeah, bruh. Jordan Travis, that would be a damn good plan B if you move up to go grab Joe Alt at right tackle between 5, 6, and 7. If they pull that off, bruh, if that's what they're doing, and I'm not guaranteeing you that's what they're doing, but I don't see them moving up 5, 6, 7 for a McCarthy or a Nix or a Penix. Now, maybe Penix is the next guy after, but I don't see that, bruh. I don't see that. I don't see that. Because we don't even know Penix. I don't think Penix goes in the first. He could go in the first round. Him and Bo Nix can both go in the first round. But it's hard because once they get past the middle of the draft, now those quarterbacks are getting into the 20s to the early 30s, where these are teams that made the playoffs with quarterbacks that they don't need to replace. So they're not depth unless teams move into the first round at the bottom to grab a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix. I can see that happening. But none of those teams at the bottom of the rounds, they don't need quarterbacks. They're playoff teams. They got their quarterback. The only thing that could change is if Tampa Bay loses Mayfield. You know what I mean? If Mayfield goes to another team, and I heard New England is strongly on his ass, they want him, then that will force Tampa Bay to go ahead and take a quarterback, which them being a playoff team will, of course, be away from the middle rounds. Let me see exactly. Tampa Bay is slotted. Just like New Orleans ain't taking no quarterback at 14. Colts ain't taking no quarterback at 15. Seattle, I don't know what Seattle does at 16. Jacksonville, not at 17. Bengals, not at 18. Rams, not at 19. Steelers, I heard that they're not interested in any of these free agents or even trading for Fields, and that they might let Pickett and what's the other dude? Pickett and what's the name fight it out. Best man get it. That's the rumor. 21, Tua ain't getting replaced. Eagles ain't replacing motherfucking what's the name at 22. Texans got theirs at 23. Dallas got Dak. Green Bay got Jordan Love. Tampa Bay's at 26. Now a quarterback can come off the board at 26. If Tampa Bay can't sign Baker Mayfield, then they'll be in do they even get at Chicago and be like, what's up with Justin Fields? I don't know. Or do they sit there at 26? Now Michael Penix will fit them. Michael Penix for real, if he gets that far. Bo Nix, I don't know if Bo Nix gets that far. I think that's like a Denver Bronco type of selection with Bo Nix, and they picked before us. But in the later part of the bottom part of the first round, Tampa Bay, if Baker Mayfield skedaddles, is the only team that would want a motherfucking quarterback in the bottom of the first round. So you would have to keep your eyes on what happens with Baker Mayfield. Does he sign with another team? Does he re-sign with Tampa Bay? That changes shit too at the bottom of the first round. So we just got to see. We just got to wait and see. Miami going to get Tua's brother. Shit. We'll see. They probably could. Why does everyone think that if you draft a rookie? We'll see. Here's the thing, though. I'm glad. Hey, Clark Arroyo, good point. But here's the difference. Like how I just got done running down the different teams in the draft. We know the worst teams is from the first and then work their way to being the best team. Kansas City is the last team. And of course, we got Chicago because of Carolina has the number 1 pick. Here's the reason why. Now I know people sitting there like, well, a rookie has never won the Super Bowl. Correct. Why is that? Why has a rookie quarterback never won the Super Bowl? Well, for one, usually the teams drafting a quarterback are drafting high, which means they're probably rebuilding. No, not probably. Most likely they're rebuilding. They need to get a franchise quarterback to build around. So they're no good. Of course, those teams you're not gonna get a rookie quarterback one year and then go to the Super Bowl the next. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It's too much you gotta add to that team to make it better. But the Raiders are a different situation. Why? Because everything is already in place. You got a defense. You got weapons on offense at all fucking at every single spot on offense. We got weapons. Tight end, running back, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1. We got weapons. The only thing that has to be attended to is the offensive line, which is easily done. When you got as much money as we do under the cap, free agents as well as draft picks is going to solve that problem. Not to mention some people we had added that a lot of us have overlooked. We still got DJ Fluker, who was drafted by Telesco with the Chargers as an offensive tackle. We got Dalton Wagner out of Arkansas, who we stashed on the injured list, who was undrafted, monster of a man, the same kind of build and stature as Colton Miller that can possibly win out the right tackle spot. What do we do at center and guard? Simple. Parham got to play a part in that as well. He did good. Do we retain Illuminor and put him at guard? Possibility. Rotten? Possibility. You know what I mean? You still got options. Mumford, you got options. Or like I said, you can go into free agency and the draft and address that problem. Now all you got to do is you get your rookie quarterback, and usually if you draft a quarterback high, he's one of the best in the draft. So you put him in a situation where he has a defense that's going to make sure the other team can't score more than 16 points a game. You got a run game that is very, very beneficial to a rookie quarterback. Play action pass. If you can establish the run, pretty much you could do what you want to. You got Devontae Adams. You got Jacoby Myers. You got Michael Mayer. If you bring back Josh Jacobs, you got Zamir White, not to mention Britton Brown and Sincere McCormick that was injured. See where I'm getting to? Our team's genetic makeup is different than any other team needing a quarterback in the top of the draft. Look at who needs a quarterback. Chicago needs a quarterback, right? If they move on from Fields. They need an offensive line too. And probably they're going to draft some wide receiver. They're going to draft a lot of shit. Because they're not nowhere near. We just barely missed the playoffs with the team we had last year, which we know is not going to be identical to the team this year. We're going to add parts in free agency and the draft to improve this roster. So a rookie quarterback will be coming into a situation where you don't have to worry about us building anything else, giving you weapons. You don't have to worry about us building a good defense for you. You know what I mean? And you're on a rookie deal, so that allows us to shift money that would take a veteran quarterback other than Wilson, that would take a lot of that money away from putting it in different spots on the roster to now we can just go ahead and start addressing, okay, needs. We need a tackle. We need a guard. We need a center. We need a linebacker. We got free agency in the draft to do it. Different situation. Different situation. Who else is going to look at New England? They want a quarterback. They don't have a team built. They was trying to figure out their quarterback last year. Zappy and old boy. Nope. Didn't work. Now they're going to move on from him. Who else is up there? Washington, they not satisfied with the quarterback they got, even though they might sit and be like, see, that's one thing about the NFL these days. They're very impatient. They don't have the patience for players to develop. They want to be a player instantly. You can't win that way. You can't be an instant winner. You can't. Niners try to, buy their way into and winning the Super Bowl with, trading for players, dumbass trades. Trey Lance, you know what I mean? You made a trade. Come on, that dumbass trade. You know what I mean? Getting guys in free. I mean, they loaded up so much that watch how many players that watch by Wednesday. They got to release these dudes by Wednesday. The teams to look at, I'm going to tell you the teams to look at for releases. Pay attention to the Niners, the Chargers, and the Saints. Now, I know Carr had to restructure his contract, but I already heard that, what's the Saints corner? I'm hearing that corner about to get released. You know what I mean? Because of money reasons. Not because he's no good. Because of money. Guess who has money? The Raiders. We are a player for anybody we want. Just figure that. Just think about that. The Raiders are a player for any free agent player that they want. When's the last time that happened? And we are a destination, and we do have the coach, and we do have the staff, and we do have the facility, and we do have state-free income tax. You know what I mean? Is too much shit is lined up. Hell no, Sam Howell ain't better than that. But it all depends on what does Washington do. Most likely, they know that he ain't better than Aiden O'Connell either. So they gonna draft a quarterback, and it could be Jaden Daniels, unless Jaden Daniels ain't who they got their eye off on after Caleb Williams. Maybe it's Drake May. Maybe JJ McCarthy is impressing people. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shit, bro. A lot of smoke and mirrors this early. We still got a whole nother month. So before we get to then, let's go ahead and just see what we gonna do Monday, boy. Free agency is, let's go. Let's go. We can't do nothing but get better, bruh. It just makes too much sense. It just makes too much sense. Nah, Jake don't suck. You don't accidentally win the Heisman. You don't accidentally throw for 4,000 yards and run for 1,100 with over 50 touchdowns. That's not an accident. And you're a Division I school. Nah, that don't happen, bruh. That don't happen. Now, if the quarterback from Boise State did some shit like that, then I have an eyebrow raised like, I don't know. Now, the Ravens tagged him, if I remember right. Greg Lira, the defensive tackle from Baltimore, he got tagged. But Patrick Queen is now a free agent, the linebacker. That's why I said, the money we got, and don't be surprised if we restructure Devontae Adams or even Max Crosby. You could restructure Colton Miller too. Those are 3 big contracts. We possibly can get close to $100 million under the cap. Easy. $100 million under the cap, easy. Depending on who they restructure. If it's that serious. But if it's that serious, that means they got targets in free agency that wants to play for us. All we need to do is have the money. But it's a wait and see, man. Hey, shout out to everybody watching, man. Please subscribe to the channel. Smash that like if you haven't, man. Leave a comment. Share the video. Hey, hit that notification bell, too, while you at it. Like I said, we'll be here tomorrow morning. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Right here on Raiders Allegiance. It's Raiders Sunrise Live with yours truly, Lunatic Raider, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Hey, good discussion. Good coverage, man. I try to bring y'all good content and try to have you sink into the mind of a lunatic. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just gotta, if they're moving, not moving, but if they are inquiring about picks 5, 6, 7, I don't think that's a quarterback, bro. I don't think that's a quarterback unless they've a JJ McCarthy or a Michael Penix. I don't think they go or Bo Nix. Too many people is putting too much bullshit out there. So I'm assuming there's a team out there putting bullshit on Bo Nix so he can fall to him. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sean Payton in the Broncos. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised. That's Bo Nix seemed like the kind of quarterback Sean Payton wants. So they probably just saying, oh yeah, his combine was horrible. But I hear other motherfuckers that was at the combine that said he had a solid turnout. He did good. He did no different than anybody else that was actually there performing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Hey, salute to all y'all in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. Pull up tomorrow morning though. We'll get into some other aspects of free agency, and I love to hear you guys' opinion and all that. Hey, leave me a comment on this video, man, about who you like, Jaden Daniels or Jordan Travis, or do you feel like if we can't get Jaden, do we go Jordan? Like them J's, Jaden or Jordan? Jaden or Jordan? Let's go, man. Salute to y'all, man. I'm about to get up out of here, man, and hit the sack. You know what I mean? But I look forward to seeing y'all here tomorrow morning, man. Salute to y'all, man. The real MVP of this shit. I'm Lunatic Raider. Y'all have been watching Sunrise Live with Lunatic Raider. Now for the Midnight Love session of the show. I'll see y'all later. Roses are red, violets are blue. This is Raiders Allegiance. And I'm out this bitch. Got you.